5 surprising reasons why Bitcoin and cryptocurrency jump. We're gonna look at stock market and Bitcoin market. And at the end of the video, I'm gonna give you 2 assets that I've been trading. Welcome to World Traveling Stock Option Crypto Trader channel. Where are you watching from? Comment down below. S&P 500 is down negative 0.28% today, and Nasdaq is down negative 0.76%, and Dow Jones is barely up 0.26%. So lots of AI stocks, chips, semiconductor, they have been going down. So you might think, hey, it's very difficult to make money in the stock market. Then think again. I made over 7,000 within one day, just like this. Of course, I use stocks and options to make consistent profit as much as possible. But surprisingly, Bitcoin is up. Bitcoin is up 1 month 26.27%. Over the past 10 days, up 10.74%. And 6 months up 24%. Year to date, hey, it stayed down 7.52%. So we haven't reached there over 95,000 yet. But this is like a big jump. Look at this. Look at this. It's jump. So that's why it's very important to stay in the market. Remember, there are lots of people who have sold Bitcoin at 60,000 or below, even below 63,000. You see right here, 59,000. Look at this. Look at this. Those people sold, if they had waited just a few weeks or maybe a few days, they might be getting rich, right? Because look at this. Somebody who has sold at 64,000 August 19. Then after that, it jumped to 80,000. So it's very important to stay in the market. And most of my successful students, they learn almost everything from me, and also they stay in the market consistently. So that's very, very important. Reason number 5, regulatory and political push. And President Trump and his administration have been pushing to fast-track digital assets legislation. Why is it important? If laws are in order, investors know how to invest and what to invest in. Remember, stability is very important, especially in rules and regulations. So now the rules and regulations are being pushed. Investor, they front load the investment. Remember, stock market, Bitcoin, cryptocurrency is always forward looking. In the next 3 months, 6 months, a year, what's going to happen? Because they anticipate the rules and regulation approval, they buy it in advance. So that's why Bitcoin jump. So that's very, very important. And so what are the main reasons about regulation that make the Bitcoin jump? It's because Trump said US is the hottest country, and Clarity Act is basically Clarity Act. We'll keep it ahead of China. Bitcoin purchase, yeah, they talk about Bitcoin purchase too. Where US buy Bitcoin, hey, let's wait and see. So the news are hot. So that's why now attention returns to Bitcoin cryptocurrency. So if you want to learn more about stock investing, option trading, Bitcoin cryptocurrency trading, subscribe to this channel. Reason number 4, bond buyback announcement. US Treasury Department basically said it will increase liquidity support buybacks for longer dated government debt from 2 billion to 4 billion per operations. So really important. Interest rates were rising before that. So treasury yields were rising. So the government got worried because if yields were rising, so they pay more in interest rates. So they don't want to happen. So why were the interest rate rising? Because investors got worried that US debt has been climbing. Will they be able to pay off debt? How about geopolitical? All these other concerns. So they demand higher interest rate to buy the debt. So remember, higher risk demand higher interest rate. Lower risk demand lower interest rate. Because if the risk is too high and the reward is too low, nobody's gonna buy. So the reward has to go up. If the reward is too high and the risk is too low, everybody's gonna buy. So basically the reward is gonna come down. So there's an equilibrium, supply demand in the market. That's very important. So how much would the government buy the bond bets? They are basically thinking about up to 1 trillion treasury general account. They may use all 1 trillion or they may not. Most likely they're not going to use all 1 trillion to fund the bond buybacks. And as long as the market believe that the US government is going to buy back and whatever it takes to lower the interest rate, then the bond market is going to comply and say, you know what, we are going to give you lower rate. So that's what they are trying to do. And reason number 3 is macroeconomic reaction, because this intervention push 30-year, 10-year treasury down from recent high and weaken the US dollar. When US dollar weakens, what's going to happen? Gold price is going to rise. Gold and Bitcoin cryptocurrency. Why? Because they are priced in US dollars. So very naturally, a lower interest rate incentivize the investor to take more risk assets, especially in gold and Bitcoin. The gold and Bitcoin price they went up because of lower interest rate and the weaker US dollar. And when something goes up, sometimes this can happen. What is that? Reason number 2, short liquidation. So lots of short traders, investors, they thought, you know what, Bitcoin is gonna go down more because of potential interest rate high. So they have been betting on interest rate high. So they need to cover the short. Once the expectation changes, the narrative changes, they need to cover the short. So what's gonna do? They cover the short. So they buy back what they sold before. Shorting means that something goes down, you make money. So in order for that to happen, you need to sell the assets in advance. Then you buy back lower. So in this case, they need to buy back as fast as possible, as much as possible, right? Because the longer they wait, the asset price goes up, they're gonna lose. So they buy back a lot. So general investor, they buy because interest rate going down. And short, they buy back because they need to cover their position. So that creates the demand very fast, very tremendous. So Bitcoin parabolic jump happens. So that's why you don't want to miss it the first 2 or 3 days. These things happen in the first few days. If you wait a few weeks, it's already gone. Most of the return call. So stay in the market. Very, very important. Reason number 1, probably the most important, because I thought Bitcoin is gonna jump, so I bought it. Right? I bought it. So now I bought it on Robinhood July 31st, 86.56. 86.56. At the time, Robinhood was down. July 31st, I knew that sooner or later Robinhood is gonna go up because I like the company, and plus Bitcoin was down at the time. So you know what, Bitcoin gonna go up. So I knew that I bought it. So I sent out an alert to my patrons. Hey, what happened? So basically, within the first few weeks, actually within 16 days, 25.75% jump. That's pretty good. You see, now 108.85 on August 24. Yeah, Robinhood, look at this. You can use it. I'm not telling you to buy or hold or sell Robinhood. This is how I analyze Robinhood. The higher the Bitcoin cryptocurrency prices, the more people trade on Robinhood, the higher the stock price could be. That's why 3% the past 5 days. Year to date, stay down. 1 month, 0.78%. So stay down. But 5 years, it beat S&P 500, Robinhood. The next one is gonna be interesting. You're gonna probably like this one. This probably posts the highest possible return, the most explosive possible return. What is that? It is MicroStrategy. They changed the name to strategy. So basically, on July 6th, I bought June 16, 2028 expiration date, semi call strike price, call option. I bought it around $65. $65. Then after that, what happened? Within the first 1.5 months, it jumped to 19.05%. 19.05%. And remember, after I bought it, it went down. The call option went down like maybe 10-20%. Remember, timing is very difficult, but that doesn't matter. The past 5 days, strategy jumped 28.13%. 1 month, 24.31%. Year to date, stay down. See, look at this. So today it opened negative because Bitcoin probably went down a little bit. but it's already overbought. So I will not chase it. I already have it, so I'm not going to sell it yet. But if I was starting a new position right now, I will not chase it. I will just wait a little bit to cool down, consolidate a little bit. If Bitcoin consolidate around 80,000 before it jumps to 100,000, we may have plenty of time to get into anyone. Personally, I prefer Robinhood and MicroStrategy. Today, Robinhood is it down or is it up? So let's see who's stock. And MicroStrategy today is down, so probably consolidated a little bit. But that doesn't really matter. The past 5 days is the past 5 days returns is more than enough to make up for it. I'm still gonna be holding Robinhood. Today is up. Yeah, today is up. So I'm still holding Robinhood. If you want to learn what I buy and what I trade, you can go to the Patreon. The link will be in the description comment below. Share, subscribe. I will see you in the next video. Bye.